Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while, and I don't even remember how long ago I recorded this video. It was at least 2 months ago. So, we're canning up some stuffed peppers soup. Pretty simple. We are going to need 2 pounds of ground beef, which is what I'm putting in there right now. We're going to fry it off, drain the grease, if I remember correctly. At this point, you can add onions to it. I don't add onions because I don't eat onions. Add them if you want. Add onions and garlic, all that fun stuff. But what we want to do is fry that meat off, which you can see I just skipped it. Now at this point, I'm going to add in my peppers, which I pre-cut. This is, if I remember correctly, 6 cups or like 2 packages of the assorted peppers. I can't remember what they're called. The rainbow peppers, I think. All diced up to the size that I wanted. Get it in there. I didn't drain my meat, and the reason I didn't is because that is lean meat. There was virtually no fat on it. So now what we're going to do is, because I cooked those until they were soft, now we're adding some spices in. What was that? That was basil. I'm going to leave the recipe down below. Don't worry. But that would have been basil. Next, I'll be adding in oregano. Yep. Ooh, called that one. And then it calls for sugar. I never add the sugar. I don't see the point of adding the sugar personally. Now we're putting in some black pepper. That was, I think, half a teaspoon. And then salt. I'm just using table salt, iodized, good old stuff. I saved the canning salt for other things. I do not use it for soups. It's not necessary. If you feel it is, then go ahead and use it. Your kitchen, your rules, right? And then because I don't use onions, I'm adding chives for the onion flavor. I'm using my fingers for air brackets. So this will give it an oniony flavor. It works for me. Now we're going to mix that in, stir. And then I'm going to let that cook off just for a little bit to make the spices aromatic. It just helps pull out the oils in the spices. Now we're going to add in the diced tomatoes. I can't remember for the life of me. You need 1 quart of diced tomatoes, half a cup of tomato paste, and 1 quart of tomato sauce. I figured that out, and it's however many cans. Sorry guys, I'm not even looking at the screen at the moment. I think that was 3 cans of diced tomatoes I added. Now we're going to stir that all up, make sure we get all the stuff off the bottom of the pan, because I grabbed a crummy pan. I don't use this pot very often because everything sticks to the bottom of it. I don't know why I still have it, to be honest with you. Oh, I know why, because it works great for broth. Now, instead of using a 1/4 of a cup of tomato paste, you see, I'm just going to use a whole can because waste not, want not. I hate having that small little bit left in the fridge, and then you end up by having to throw it away. It's just how it works every time. Hair. Okay. So we'll get that all in there. And then because I don't have tomato sauce, I think I ended up by using... I may have added in yes, I just licked my fingers. I just seen that. That's okay, my fingers don't go in there. I think I added just an extra can of the diced tomatoes instead of adding a can of tomato sauce. I can't remember. Next time, guys, it was like 2 months ago I did this video. And I just found it in my thing. It's like, oh, get it done so I can get it out. Okay, so here is the beef broth going in. We add in, what do we add in? 2 quarts, or 1.5 quarts. I think I end up by adding a little bit extra in it every time, because I just want it to be that little bit soupier. Just, personal preference. Because, guys, I'm sorry, I do some things off camera too. Now we're going to put that back on, let that get all heated up. Now we're going to get it jarred up. Now, like I said, the recipe calls for sugar. I don't add sugar in mine. Okay, so now we are on to the canning it process. I'm putting hot water on the lids, letting them soak. I have my canner preheating, as you've seen in the back corner there. My jars are all clean. I'm trying to think what I'm doing because I always have that moment. Then we're just going to ladle it into a jar, giving it a good stir first to make sure we get a little bit of everything in here. Oh, doesn't that just look fantastic? And so I didn't add any crushed tomato to it. I just used diced tomato and it turned out perfectly fine. I think I have one jar left on the shelf out of all of these. So now you want to debubble it. And then you want to wipe the rim. As soon as I find my paper towel. See, the joys of a smaller kitchen, guys, is that I don't have to go searching for everything because everything is within reach of where I'm standing. Minus my rings, because those I have in the front room here because there's a shelf in here that I put them on. So I had to go get the rings. Now I come back. I thought I edited that part out. My bad. Now we're going to put a lid on it. We're going to put a ring on it. That song still pops into my head every time. And then into the canner it goes. And then we'll do it again. Filled up. 1-inch headspace. Look at that glorious soup going in there. 1-inch headspace. We're going to debubble. Debubble, debubble, debubble. Get another jar. Wipe the rim. Get a lid. And then we're going to put a ring on it. And then into the canner it goes. And I think at this point I shut this off. No, I don't. Oh, hey, I'm going to show you another one. No, I don't. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now I have them all in there. Ooh, my camera jumped. And we're going to put the lid on it. And then we're going to let it vent. Or get it up to pressure. No, we're not. We're going to let it heat up. Yeah, we're going to let it heat up now. I'm skipping a step here. Okay, now you got to let it vent for 10 minutes because that's where it's at this stage in the game. Now it's vented. Now, because I use a... Woo! What happened there? That was fun. Okay, now because I use the dial, the pressure gauge, sorry, it has to be at 11 psi. Not 10, 11. If you use a weighted gauge, then it's 10. But because I use this, it is 11. And then this goes for an hour and 15 minutes because it's got up to 11, as you can see. Now, I must have missed or something, I don't even know. But I take the lid off, I let it sit for 5 minutes, or I take once it's done, let it get down to pressure. Then remove the gauge off of it, or the weight off it, sorry. Let that sit for 5 minutes. Crack the lid open, let it sit for 5 minutes. And then you can start pulling the jars out, as you can see I'm doing here. And I end up with, I think it was 9 jars. I think. I can't remember. But the soup turned out lovely. It was amazing. They all sealed. I haven't had any issues with jars sealing since we've moved here. I've had a few canning sessions, which I've recorded some I haven't. It's just one of those things. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will talk to you again pretty soon, hopefully. We'll see.